What's mental, guys? My name is Alvin Miner, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, kindly consider subscribing, and I'm going to give you about 5 seconds so that you can hit the subscribe button that's down there below. Also, make sure that you turn on the post notification bell. Yeah, you done? Okay, thank you. Welcome back. And in this channel, we usually talk about everything and all things related to mental health. So, this week's episode, we're going to be talking about personality disorders. And I want to thank you guys for the support that you've been showing my channel by subscribing, sharing with your friends, and also liking the content that I post here. I want to thank you so much because we have actually managed to hit 200 subscribers, and that's all because of you guys. So, without much further ado, we are going to begin today's episode. So, we're going to basically start with the definition of personality disorder. And personality disorder is a type of mental disorder in which you have a rigid and unhealthy pattern in thinking, functioning, and behaving. Basically, it determines your personality because it characterizes the way that you're going to behave around people or those that are in your immediate environment. So, there are various types of personality disorders, and they are grouped into three categories, which are namely there's cluster A, then there's cluster B, and then there's cluster C. Now, in these three different clusters, there are also subtopics or rather sub levels of various personality disorders that we're going to get into and discuss them further so that you can be able to get a better understanding of what it is that we mean by talking about personality disorders. Now, for cluster A, it basically means that the people that are grouped into cluster A type of personality disorder are people that find it difficult to relate with other people. Now, in this cluster A personality disorder, there are three other types of personality disorders categorized under it. And these three categories are paranoid personality disorders, there is schizoid personality disorder, then there is the schizotypal personality disorders. Now we're going to begin with the first one, with the first category that falls under cluster A, which is going to be the paranoid personality disorder. Now, for paranoid personality disorder, it's whereby one may feel easily rejected, or rather they become very suspicious of others and are unable to trust them without any reason. Now, you don't need a specific reason so that you can distrust other people, maybe probably your friends or family. You just feel the urge that you don't trust them or you don't want to share information with them. Now, the second category that falls under the cluster A type of personality disorder is schizoid personality disorder. Now, for this one, you may be viewed as being cold or distant by maybe your immediate family or friends, or rather the people that surround you. And it's whereby one may feel uninterested in forming social relationships and oftenly prefer to be alone. For this category, it mainly focuses on people that really feel that they can be by themselves and don't need to socialize that much with other people. The third category that falls under the cluster A type of personality disorder is going to be schizotypal personality disorder. Now, for this one, the people that get to experience this type of personality disorder usually find themselves having difficulty in forming close relationships, be it in friendships or other relationships, you can form a relationship with a person, but not that kind of intimate relationship or rather a close relationship with the person, because you are afraid of maybe getting hurt or being disappointed in that kind of relationship. Now, the second type of cluster group is the cluster B group, personality disorders. Now, for the people that fall under the cluster B type of personality disorders, they are usually grouped on terms of people that find difficulties in controlling their overall emotions or their emotional feelings. Now, under the cluster B type of personality disorders, we get other four subcategories of personality disorders, which are namely antisocial personality disorders, narcissistic personality disorder, histrionic personality disorders, and borderline personality disorders. Now I'm going to describe them to you so that you can be able to get a better understanding. And you're going to start with the first one, with the first category that falls under the cluster B types of personality disorder. Now, for the first one, is going to be the narcissistic personality disorder. Now, for this type of personality disorder, one can be related to low self-esteem, whereby one acts with high sense of self-importance so that maybe you can cover up your low self-esteem. Now, for the second type of personality disorder under the cluster B type of personality disorders is going to be the histrionic personality disorder, whereby one likes to be the center of attention and are usually very uncomfortable if they get to be ignored, maybe by their friends group or their family members. Like you like being in the center of it all. Now, for the third one, it's going to be antisocial personality disorder, whereby this type of personality disorder is linked to people who may be reckless and not think about how their actions are going to affect other people around them. Now, for the fourth type of personality disorder under the cluster B, the borderline personality disorder. Now, for this one may experience strong emotions, even mood swings, and feelings that are overwhelming for them to control. Now, the third category is going to be the cluster C category. Now, for the cluster C type of personality disorders, these people usually have strong feelings of fear or anxiety. Now, under these cluster C personality disorders, there are three subtopics, or rather three sub levels of personality disorders, which are namely obsessive compulsive personality disorder, dependent disorder, and avoidant disorder. Now, for the obsessive compulsive personality disorders, one may feel triggered or anxious if things are messy or disorganized, or if things go unplanned the way they had initially planned them. Now, for the second type of personality disorder under the cluster C is going to be the dependent personality disorder, whereby one may allow others to take responsibility or control over certain parts of their lives because maybe they are not confident enough or they are actually experiencing low self-esteem issues within themselves. This type of people are usually not very confident. The third type of category under the cluster C personality disorder is going to be the avoidant personality disorder. Now, for this type of people, they usually fear being judged negatively, which is going to lead them to have low self-esteem issues, and they usually tend to worry a lot and not and they usually don't even like criticism, be it maybe negative criticism or even constructive criticism. Now, there are various causes of personality disorders, which I have grouped into two, and I'm going to explain them to you. For the first cause of personality disorder, can be related to your genes, whereby certain personality traits may be passed down to you by your parents through inherited genes. Now, the second cause can be termed as your environment, the place that immediately surrounds you, whereby It can be even the environment that you grew up in, events that happened in your life, like how close you are with your family members or even friends. It can even include the various types of challenges maybe you went through while growing up. Now, there are treatment plans or other situations whereby you actually need to go and consult your doctor, whereby if you feel like you are experiencing some of the some signs and symptoms that I've actually explained above in the various levels or other types of personality disorders that fall under maybe cluster A, cluster B, or rather cluster C, you can actually go and visit your doctor, whereby you can get a professional diagnosis and actually be able to be told if you're actually experiencing any type of personality disorders. And if you are, they can actually diagnose it and then give you certain treatment plans that are actually tailored for you depending on the type of personality disorder that you're actually experiencing. Now, untreated personality disorders can usually cause a lot of side effects or rather significant problems in school, work, even in your relationships, be it romantically or even social friendships. And it can actually also lead to self isolation from others because maybe you're trying to avoid their judgment, or rather, you just don't want to fit in with other people. You just tend to feel like you can do it all alone by yourself. And in other extreme cases, it can actually lead to alcohol or drug abuse. So I want to urge all of you guys to keep subscribing to this channel, keep liking, keep commenting, and keep following for more updates because we're always going to be uploading new episodes every Friday, and you don't want to miss out on next week's episode. We're going to be giving you all content in relation to mental health and ways that you can be able to actually prevent it. And if you already have it, we can actually give you some advice on how you can be able to get treatment plans, because we want to make sure that everybody knows that it's okay not to be okay. So, to thank you all for usually subscribing to my channel, liking my content, and sharing my content, I'm introducing a new segment whereby at the end of next week's episode, I'm going to shout out a new subscriber who is going to subscribe to this channel, like the video, and comment down below done when they are done subscribing and liking the channel, and also commenting that they are done. So until next time, guys, peace out.